Just the other day, Google had a bug with their search engine ranking algorithm that resulted in a really drastic change to the sort of search landscape for many keywords. This was in multiple countries. Myself, I had a number of websites affected. Both clients I'm, assisting and also websites that I own. All sorts of keywords that I would search, probably on a daily basis, wound up with some crazy results showing through. Something I Googled as an example or as a sort of a test was just Christchurch electrician, sort of simple, common type keyword that someone would search, and the front page of Google was full of job listings, whereas, 12 hours before, it had been full of, actual local businesses providing electrician services. Now, I won't go too deep into what happened here, but long story short, it turns out there was a bug and Google has owned up to this or admitted it, which is pretty rare because often their attitude is a lot more dismissive than that. But basically, Google had a bug, and what happened is the internet freaked out, and potentially, if that had lasted and gone on for longer, then businesses that were reliant on Google traffic, that reliant on being at position 1 or on page 1 for a keyword or a group of keywords, could have been really badly affected. And so the moral of this story is, what is your escape route? Pilots, at least to my understanding, when they're flying a route, they always have an idea in their mind, or they have actually laid out an escape plan. What are we going to do if this all goes wrong? What's our backup option? And the same should apply for your digital marketing, especially if you're playing in someone else's sandpit. And I'll give credit to a good marketer I know, Scott Wilson, who uses that term, and I totally stole that off him. You should go check out what he does. But that's a great way of describing actually what's going on when you're dependent on Google, for example, or if you've got a business that's built on YouTube, which is another Google product. Let's say you've got a massive YouTube channel and then you get 3 strikes on your channel and your videos get banned. Or perhaps with Facebook, you've got a massive Facebook following and then someone accuses you of posting fake news, and in this sort of time of tension and sort of heightened sensitivities, you wind up with your page being banned and your audience taken away from you. This can happen, it does happen. Don't think it can't happen to you, because I think that Google bug the other day showed anyone who was at least paying attention to the search results that all of these big platforms, they ultimately wield a lot of power, and it was pretty alarming when that update first happened. I certainly was quite concerned. Now, it appears to have been rolled back, but there's no guarantee when things change that they will be rolled back. What if Google had said, hey, actually, this is how we want our system to work now, and you're going to have to deal with it? Well, if all of your business was coming from that one channel, you could have been in quite a bit of trouble. Now, I've spoken in the past about not overcomplicating your digital marketing strategies. So if you've got a method that works really, really well for getting you ranking on Google for long tail keywords, for example, then keep working away at that. But you also do need to think on another level, and that's, what else am I doing to build up other ways of securing people who could come back to my site, become leads and become customers? Are you building an email list? Are you pushing people to follow you on social media? Are you building a memorable brand so that people actually come back to you even if they couldn't find your website so easily? If they couldn't jump on Google and find you via a keyword search, or click on a Google ad, or go on Facebook and click a link to your Facebook page, would they still remember who they are, or who you are, I should say, the next time that they have the challenge that you solve? So just give that a bit of thought. What is your escape route, especially if you're dependent on, say, one particular strategy online, especially if you're dependent on organic SEO traffic, or totally dependent on social media traffic as well? Do you have an escape plan? Are you building a brand? How would you respond in a crisis if something happened like what happened with Google the other day, but it stayed permanent, or it didn't go away quickly? What if it took Google 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks to fix that problem, and in that time you're missing out on a whole lot of business, and that's your only source of business online? So make sure you've got other pathways that are at least being considered and worked on. This doesn't mean you have to spread your activity too thin, but you've always got to have something that you can fall back on in an emergency. You've always got to also be looking to build up alternative methods of getting people to your business, getting people to your website. If you've got any questions on this, please do feel free to get in touch. You can leave a comment, you can message me on LinkedIn, connect with me if you'd like more digital marketing advice. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.